what up? What's good? We are back at it again with another installment of the JSL Podcast. Aquí estamos otra vez. Hello, everybody. My name is Eli, and I'm here accompanied with
Easy, Ezekiel, Zeke. You already
Zizi.
know. And we have the honor and the privilege
Yes.
to have the live crowd and Rose, our youth leader.
Rose, our youth leader, is here in studio today. We're so happy to have her here. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling uncomfortable.
Yeah.
No, just
We had to book
I'm
her
happy to be here.
we had to book you like 3 months in advance.
3 months ago.
She
we had
kept
to-
rejecting, declining, planning
yeah, I
center.
had to rebuke the spirit of rejection amongst us because I
Amen.
kept rejecting. No, I'm just kidding. Really happy to be here. Super proud of the boys for what they're doing.
Shout out.
Behind the scenes, I'm rooting them on. So, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank
shout
you
out to
for
you.
coming on. We appreciate you being on here. We want to pick your brain a little bit
Oh,
and
jeez.
Shout out
get to
to
know you. Have the people behind the camera get to know you a little bit more.
yeah. So we're pretty excited because if those that don't know, we started social media. Rose was one of our pioneers, somebody that pushed us to grow, and so it's a special connection that we have right here. I hear these three right here. We've been through a lot of trials and tribulations.
The OGs.
The OGs right here. We've been through it all. So we're excited to have this conversation to, like you said, pick her brain, get to know her a little bit more, take her out of the behind the scenes a little bit. We know that she likes to move in the behind the scenes, and
Yeah.
if you know Rose, you know that Rose makes it happen. So
Yes, sir.
that's something about her.
So, right off the bat, tell us what do you do in this ministry besides being youth leader? What else? What is it?
What are the hats that
do
you
you
wear
wear
in
in
the
the
ministry?
ministry?
Okay, so I think obviously I'm the youth leader, but aside from that, I do all the administration of church, all the business side that a church has to have. I handle a lot of that, but as well all the directing parts, all the planning, all the coordinating of every department. I'm your person for that. So that's some of my not titles or responsibilities that I have. As well, I'm in front of the children's ministry currently.
Shout out.
Shout out,
Shout out to
Beto.
kids.
Yes. Shout out to the kids' church team.
Listening right now, all the kiddos. Shout out
Yes,
to you.
all the kiddos. And I think that's about it.
What
That's
about
it.
the
Well, in our
decor
eyes, we
team?
see
Or
that
what
you
do
do
you
a lot of
guys-
things.
decoration team?
Decoration,
That's like a side hobby.
dance team mentor.
if they're ever doing a food sale, she probably cut the lettuce and the tomatoes.
That's true. Yeah, that's very
Jack
true.
of all trades, as they say.
Counselor,
Counselor. What else?
therapist.
Yeah. So definitely very, like you said, she says yes to God and doesn't limit herself. And that's something that I think that the youth can see, and I think we take that into ourselves too. Like,
Yeah.
okay, let me just
A
continue to
title
say yes to
doesn't
God.
stop me to do the small things.
That's
Yeah.
true.
I actually enjoy doing the small things,
Mm-hmm.
which a lot of people usually tell me stop doing the small things, but that's what I take pleasure in, doing
Mm-hmm.
the small things, because the small things is what makes the big things look good.
Yeah.
Amen.
So you do a lot of things. You're always busy in the ministry. So how do you balance ministry with all the work they have to do with your personal life? How does, because a lot of people, they go to church and they struggle with balancing ministry and life, or they get burnt out. So how, in your
Wow, we're
experience,
going
how would
straight
you
to
say?
it,
Yeah. How do you keep it going?
Okay, I think I have, in the recent last years, I've learned that it's more like a harmonized balance than a balance, because God has to be in every aspect of my life, not just at the
Yeah.
church life, but also my personal life. So it's more of a harmony, harmonize my personal life with what I do for God, and knowing that at the end of the day, what I do is for God, and it's my priority. Not think so much of course you do it for the people, but at the end of the day you do it for God. So, and the last years I've learned
Yeah.
hard lessons that it takes more of a harmonizing, and God gives us the spirit of wisdom to administer our time correctly. So that's where the Spirit of God comes in and gives you the guidance and what you should prioritize depending on the season that you're in. So, of course, sometimes I do get crazy and I'm a little
Oh,
bit,
yeah.
I'm from one extreme to the other extreme, but that's just the character of who I am. But I've had my hard lessons, okay, because I know some people behind the screen saying, I don't think so. She's done this, she's done that. But I've learned over the years, it's not a balance. Like, this doesn't become more than the other. It's a harmony balance. It's a harmonized balance. And that's what has helped me to actually stay focused and not get burnt out.
I never thought about it that way. Usually people think it's like, okay, I'm at church too much. I got to make sure I have something else doing at my personal
Yeah.
life. But it's the same
Yeah,
thing.
'cause I think
God is
that's-
supposed to be around you everywhere.
Because that's a easy way to burn out, because you're
Excuse.
thinking, I'm doing so much this and I'm not taking care of my personal life. So then you burn out on over here because you're over stressing that you're not taking care of the other side. So that's an easy way to burn out, because you're stressing too much about it. So you just have to have a harmony, be harmonized in all your areas in order to be fruitful in everything that you are, not just in the church aspect or the ministry aspect, but also in your personal life.
Amen.
Like,
True.
because
I-
sometimes we just wanna make sure that we're good at the church, and our personal life is horrible and messy
Amen.
and complicated, and
Calling me
then
out.
that's where
Call-
God is
call
not
him
shown.
out. Call
Right?
him out.
God is not
Calling me out right
shown.
now.
Some of our audience are about to leave.
Just step out.
So we don't see God in your personal life because you're just focused on the church life and you forget about your personal life. But honestly, at the end of the day, God wants to be more in your personal life than in your ministry life.
Amen.
So we gotta
Amen.
get that straight, and that's a hard lesson I've had to learn.
Yes.
So don't think it came easy. It's a hard lesson I've had to learn, but it's been awesome.
Amen. I think you've said it multiple times. Something that I've heard from you, that we can put God in a box,
Oh yeah.
and I think that's sometimes the four walls of the church. We put God in here. That's where He's
Yeah.
at. But like you said, I like that word, finding the harmony.
Yeah.
Maybe not the balance, because if it's all in harmony, it'll work together, and it'll
Exactly.
work in both sides.
And it's mostly, I think it's people, when they hear that, it's probably going to think like, oh, like God has to be in everything. It's like more like, it's not like a religious type of thing. It's more like, you know, God's first. And when everything you do, you can still go out, you can still
Yeah,
travel, you can
exactly.
still do this. But as long as God is there and He's the focus of it all, you can still have fun.
Yeah, and I think that's something, those that are part of our youth, they know I've emphasized a lot that just because you know God and you go to church doesn't mean you have to have a boring life.
Nah.
In reality, you're not living the fullness of God if you're
Nah.
thinking that you're having a boring life. Then you actually haven't fulfilled God's purpose, because our life is meant to be diverse, is meant to be dynamic, is meant to be fun, it's meant to
Amen.
be enjoyable, because at the end of the day, God gave us the life, right?
Exactly.
Amen.
So that's something that I emphasize, that sometimes we just want to keep God at the church, the four buildings. And I always very emphasize with our youth, no, God is the God of everywhere and anything that we do, because wherever God is it's going to be good, you know? And like the verse says, all good things work for those that
who
love
God.
Him. So don't just love God in a church building or a Sunday service, but love God even when you go to work and you have to make time to wake up and get yourself to the gym. Love God in the midst of all that.
Amen.
And it works, and everything works good to your favor. So
Let's change the narrative.
yeah, let's change the narrative.
That's what I've heard her say many times, especially I remember at last retreat. I said, let's change the narrative of the young people,
Yeah.
because they think the young Christian youth that we
We have to
think
be reserved.
we have
and
to be
in a
reserved, you know,
box.
we can't really show. But man, let's be real. The world is loud about what they love. Why can't we be loud about what we
Exactly,
love as well?
exactly.
And in fact, we actually are standing on truth. We're standing on true joy, true love, true freedom. So I think we have every excuse to be loud, to be excited, and, you know, and to live that freedom, that free life that God calls us to live.
Yeah, 100%.
I think it goes to show the same thing that Johnny said last podcast.
Shout
He
out
said,
Johnny.
who's in your circle? I mean, if you have friends that aren't in the same mindset as you, then obviously you're going to hear the negativity. You're going to hear the, making you doubt things, and
Yeah.
that brings you down as well. So check your circle
Check your
again. Who's in your
circle.
circle? Because if you're in a kingdom with kingdom friendship, then you guys are just helping each other grow. If you're
Kingdom friendships.
have separate groups of friends, you know that this group of friends isn't going to help you, you know, help your relationship with God. So
Yeah, like I think something that goes to that is like the atmosphere that you carry. So if you have the Holy Spirit with you, I think your atmosphere should be the one changing the other people.
Yeah.
But if you're not truly walking in the Spirit, you're gonna walk into another atmosphere, and that atmosphere is really gonna
Yeah.
hurt you. Instead of you being the one, instead of you being the one that's gonna, interact and change how someone else is feeling, it shouldn't be backwards, And that comes along with who's your circle, are you, and then also prayer life. How's your prayer life looking? That's something that I think comes with the harmony.
Yeah.
Prayer life is important in that, Wednesdays, prayers, and also Sunday at 7 a.m. do great. Those are amazing times, powerful moments where God speaks and we see his glory, but also your personal life, Like we said, we shouldn't just keep it here, but also in our personal lives, in our own house. So.
Yeah, that's what you've been talking about at TJS, the remnant, where
remnant of the
don't be a
heart.
remnant at church, be a
A
remnant of the
physical
house.
remnant.
Because
Yeah.
people they're only Christians at church, but outside of church,
Yeah, church goers
they
with
take
no
off.
spirit.
Calling you
they're
out.
Yeah.
Christian, whatever they put up
A facade.
front.
Yeah, because sometimes, especially amongst the youth, they think just by going to church they're covered, and they want everything. I'm about to go in Spanglish because in TJS we go Spanglish.
Así
If
es.
that's
Amen,
okay.
amen.
But they think that just by going to church it covers them, and they think everything's gonna be just handed to them. But you have to also put your part, not just in a building, but in your personal life. Like my prayer life has to be there. It has to be active
Yes.
in order to see the promises of God being fulfilled. It's not just a word. It's not something you just hear and that you're a physical person that comes as a routine, because we see that a lot now in this culture. Sundays is this day of the Lord. Everybody says it. Sunday morning we go to church, but then the
Coffee.
rest of the week God is not near them, right? You don't see God within them. So that's something that I think we need to start emphasizing in our generation, that it's more than just going to a church. It's actually knowing God or knowing Jesus the personal way. And that's something at our youth, and not because I'm the youth leader, but I do pride myself a lot in. And something that we always speak is that, we need to have a personal relationship with God. It's more than just coming to a building and putting God in a box, but it's actually knowing him. Because there's a lot of people that know of him but don't know him. So
Well, I kind of want to ask you a question, and I think this can help a lot of young people that, want to continue to grow in the church. But a lot of young people are, dreamers. They have goals. They have things they want to accomplish in their personal lives. They have, things that they want to do. And then I think a lot of people, you've spoke about this, that there's, dreams that God has for us. And so how can a young person kind of, I guess we can say, balance again and figure that out between how do I go into chasing my own dreams and my own goals, but continue to grow in the ministry and achieve things in for the kingdom as well? Like, is there something that needs to be said about that for the young people?
like, I think when we are chasing our dreams and our goals, that we should prioritize even more our relationship with God, because it's easy for our flesh to just lean on what we think and what we want, that we get to miss what God actually has for us, that will surpass our own plans and
Yeah.
our own dreams. So I think starting to say yes to like having that intimacy with God is going to open your eyes into what step you need to take for your plans, for your dreams, and if that's what God wants you to do. Because remember, God's dreams, God's plans will always surpass whatever we think is good and what we need. So I think something that's really important is to start saying yes to God in our intimacy. And that's what's going to lead us in knowing, okay, yeah, God, this is where you want me to go. This is the step that I want you to go. But always having the heart aligned with God, that at the end of the day, that even if your dreams don't come true, you want God's dreams to come true for you. So having that understanding that at the end of the day, yes, you have dreams, you have plans, but at the end of the day, you want to fulfill his will, because his will be way better than your
Amen.
plans and your purpose.
Yeah, his plans are way bigger
I
than
know.
what we think.
Me and Easy had hoop dreams.
Yeah.
I thought I was gonna go to NBA, then God made me tear my ACL.
Yeah.
That's why I was trying to find some, some I just wanted to forget that I didn't make it to the NBA, you know. And so I see, Lord, it's okay, still use me, but it's okay. He has bigger dreams for me than the NBA.
But did you guys ever imagine yourselves right this moment, like what you guys have accomplished? If you guys would have followed your dreams, your plans, you would have said a no to God. Because usually when God asks you for something, something very impossible, and you don't believe it. So if you would have
Yeah.
said no, where would you guys be, right? I mean, they're testament of it.
And sometimes when,
I feel like, well, youth well, most of the youth feel like once from like 20 to 30, there's like that phase where they're like, they doubt themselves, like, oh, what's my purpose? What is this? And think
And they focus so much on that that they miss God.
they miss, yeah, so that, exactly. So I was fortunate enough to be able to, you know, my eyes were open up to what God, my purpose is, like how I can help, and I've grown a lot in media and in the worship team. But like there has been times where like you feel doubt, or you feel like, what am I doing in life? Is this like, I feel old, I should be doing other things, and like if you don't have God, I mean, I feel like it's way worse. Like
Yeah.
I can't
it's
Yeah.
like
imagine.
super bad.
Because
Like,
you have that feeling, I think, still in the world. You know, if you're not walking with God, that same feeling of like, I don't know if am I going the right way. But we have the peace that we know God's leading us, and we can trust.
he like grounds you. So
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
you go back to the beginning. But I know every youth out there feels that way. Like everyone goes through that phase. They're all
Yeah.
like, dang, they doubt themselves to the max. They start going down a spiral, and they're like,
Yeah.
what am I doing in life? This and that.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
just gotta go back to the beginning. Gotta go to God and ask for what's your purpose, and
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
through God, He'll open many doors for you, like He has for us.
Yeah.
Sometimes, yeah, like we started, we're just two knuckleheads,
In the restroom, throwing paper
In the
towels.
rush, just throwing
in
paper
the
towels.
paper
in the-
towels in the
in the
restroom.
roof.
I was easily influenced by Easy. At that
Pastor's
time.
kid syndrome.
Yeah,
They're the
I was pretty bad.
troublemakers.
I was a bad kid, but God did a miracle in
I
me.
was actually scared of Easy when I
Yeah.
first met him.
A lot of the
He's saying
hermanas,
truth.
all the hermanas
Yeah.
that used to be like, they used to know me when I was little, and they see me now, and they're like, wow, you changed so much. Like, eras bien travieso.
Bro, they would tell me, my friends would
No.
tell me, hey, no te juntes con el psiqui, okay? And I was like, all right, I was scared of him. He was over there. I'm all like, that kid's
I was
wild.
running the block.
I
out
keep my
here.
distance.
He was
I had
pretty
my whole
wild.
crew. Any new kid, I would jump them. We have to jump you into the crew,
Jump him into the
in
kingdom.
the kingdom.
So if you want to get jumped into the kingdom, come on down.
My body's in the back of the church.
Only the strong survive for
Eli
real.
survives.
It was a rough, it was a rough initiation. If you could take a punch from Easy, then my respect to you.
God
A lot of
does
people are going to
miracles.
come forward after this.
Yeah, everyone's gonna. DM.
Nah, he never hit me. I talked to him more when he was calmed down, and then we were cool. Shook up, and everything worked out.
But don't be fooled. He sometimes gets still wild.
Yeah, I have my moments. Everyone has their
But now
moments.
they're
Other
wild and they're,
moments.
yes, yeah, ya está transformado.
Está
It's
transformado.
transformed.
So part of you harmonizing your personal life with God, harmonizing, is you take big trips. So what is your bucket list?
My
Top
butt-
5 places that you want to go to.
Destination.
Destination trips.
Yeah. So yeah, that's one thing that I started a couple years ago because I focus so much in the ministry because I love it and I'm very passionate about it. But I set a goal that every year for my birthday I was going to do a trip. And I actually have a list. Can I read some of them? If
Yes.
somebody can bring me my phone that's right behind the young
That-
lady
that
right
young
there.
lady?
That looks really beautiful over there. Wow, somebody.
Yo, DJ
Yo,
Isabel.
DJ Isabel.
DJ Isabel in the
Yo,
mix.
DJ Isabel.
DJ
Special
Isabel.
appearance.
Cute.
Yo.
Yeah, I actually have a list. I'll just read you guys a couple of them because I have a long list.
What's your top? Like, can you do an order from 5?
That's hard.
Okay, name 5 of them, and then we'll see which one's top 5.
Okay.
Okay, so what are top 5 right
Places
now?
that I want to go, right, that I
Yes.
haven't gone to. Okay, so for sure, South Africa,
Ooh.
Switzerland,
Yes.
and I have
South Af-
Iceland, Japan,
Yes.
Turkey,
Okay.
Believe it or not, I want to learn.
Thanksgiving weekend, you should go.
I love teas, and they're all about teas over there. I have Japan. Did I say that already?
You
Yeah.
should Japan.
Sorry.
So you have 5 already. You got
Okay.
another one?
I have a lot, but we can just go through those.
So you said Japan, Turkey,
Japan, Turkey, Switzerland,
Switzerland,
Iceland,
Iceland, and
and
South Africa. South Africa or Africa?
Well, I mean,
I think South
more
Africa.
because I want
Madagascar.
to do a safari, and it's very known in the South Africa side of it.
Safari? Dang. For me, top number 1 that I want to go is Japan,
Mm-hmm.
Switzerland, South Africa would be dope. And then, what's left? Turkey and
Turkey.
Iceland.
In that
Iceland
order?
is Greenland. Iceland is basically green and Greenland is basically
Yeah,
ice, right?
uh-huh.
Okay.
So I've heard. I can't.
Would
We don't know.
This out of those 5 in that rating, I would go with Switzerland's my number 1. I really
'Cause
those
Booker
pictures
went?
are crazy if you see them. Because of
Yeah, it's
Book?
beautiful over there.
what? Swiss chocolate. I heard is really
Book
good.
just went.
Oh, Book was just there. Shout out Booker. I know he listens. He messaged me. He's like,
Yeah.
"Hey, we've been listening." All right, anyways. I'll go Switzerland. Then I'll go Japan because it's like New York but bigger.
Yeah,
I
That
love
looks
New
so
York.
dope.
yeah.
New York, and
Let's
then
take a trip.
South Africa would be next, and those are really close together though, like in that order. But I would like all those, and then what'd you say, Finland,
Finland? Antarctica?
Turkey? I go Iceland and Turkey. I don't like turkey that much. The food, so
Bruh.
I don't need a turkey sandwich.
So beautiful over there.
But that would be mine. But
What was your top 5?
Oh,
You didn't order them, you just threw them out.
yeah. I think for sure South Africa would be like on my
One.
top because not many people get to, like, you just get to see it on TikTok
True.
or Pinterest, and I want to get to experience that. And I know God has chosen me to fulfill his dreams. You know, I want to be that person.
preach
For
in
sure,
South
South Africa. Japan would be my second one. My third one would be Switzerland. And I forgot what.
Turkey
Finland.
and Iceland.
Yeah, so it would be
And
Turkey,
Greenland.
then Iceland. Just because I have a thing
Solid.
with Turkey.
That
Pretty
is
solid.
so. We're
I
gonna
can't
start.
say.
We're gonna start a new YouTube series called JSO Youth Goes to. Where is it? Finland. Finland. JSO
Russia.
Youth goes to South Africa. JSO Youth goes to
Yeah.
South Korea.
South
Bruh.
Korea's good. South
Oh
Korea's
wait, North
Yeah.
Korea.
good. No, you can't say it. They're gonna hear us.
We'll go
They're
anywhere.
gonna demonetize us.
Yeah. We'll go anywhere. I just want to travel the world. I
Okay.
think God created it, so I want to see it.
And what places have you gone already?
Places that I've
Or your
gone.
favorite place have you gone?
Wow. I have 3, but for different reasons. Can
Okay.
So my top one for sure was when I went to Israel
Oh my god.
because
The
it
Holy
just
Land.
was like
so sick.
it was just like so profound and
Yes.
just I like sobbed one of the days because
I'm
it
gonna cry
was
right now.
it was
Yeah.
just so powerful to be so you felt God so near, Jesus so
Especially-
near, so it's just very
It's like
a
the Bible
very-
comes to life.
yeah, it's a very transformative trip
And
that
every
everybody
person-
should take.
It's emotional because
Yeah.
you see it and then you picture it and then you're like, dang. And there's like a presence that it's just there.
Yeah, and especially all the Pentecostal kids that grew up in La Escuela Dominical, and we will hear all these stories about Jesus and all these things. Like, it's really cool to see them come to life when you go to Israel. So that was one of my top ones where I literally felt like I came back changed. And I think
Jerusalem,
another one would be,
qué bonita.
and Siki was part of this trip.
Which one?
We went
Costa
to El
Rica?
Salvador.
Oh, Salvador.
Let's not talk about El Salvador, where we got the opportunity for all of
Oh, yeah,
us,
our
all
first
of
time.
my siblings, my parents, to go as a family. My mom returned back to her country. She was born in El Salvador after 26 years, 25 years.
A lot.
And it was just like a very,
It
like
Emotional, too.
emotional trip because it was right
Cathartic.
after our grandma had just recently passed away, my mom's mom. So it was like a closure that we needed as a family, but we got to like live the stories that she would tell us, and it was just like a very sentimental trip that I will always hold in my heart. And then the other one would be Paris.
Paris.
I know, Paris. Just because I've always had that dream, and Siki was also part of it because he loves to travel too.
Yeah, Paris is cool. Well, it was me.
Yeah.
It was me, you, and Perla, our
Yeah.
other sister.
Yeah.
And we all booked our flight like differently.
Yeah.
So you booked your flight first, and then you invited me, or I don't know, think you invited her first, and then
Se
me.
invitaron solos. I'm just kidding.
It was funny because we all left. We went to the airport at the same time, but we have different flights. My layover was in New York. Your layover was in. I think you went to Chicago,
Yeah,
right?
mhm.
And Perla's layover was in Seattle. It was
What?
weird.
That makes no sense.
Yeah, we all went to different places except Perla and Rose arrived like an hour earlier before me, and I arrived like an hour later. And it was funny because we all just met up at the airport. It was like, it's funny how
it was
went
cool
to
because it was our first experience like in a place where it was different language, different currency, a whole other continent. But it was just really cool because it was like a little dream that I had in my heart that one day I want to go to Paris, and I just felt like God saying, "See, even in your crazy, silly dreams that you think like." You just say them. I hear you, and he actually gave me the opportunity to go to Paris. So it was kind of like un trato entre yo y Dios diciendo, hoy le voy a cumplir esto a mi hija. So it was just like feeling that gratitude that I want to be the vessel of God's dreams being fulfilled. So it was really cool.
Shout out to Paris.
Shout out to Paris
It was
Shout
a
out
vibe.
Paris.
and all the croissants I ate over there.
Croissant. The Mona Lisa.
Mona Lisa is this small.
It's super small, and there's a big old lion.
Yeah.
Overhyped.
Overhyped.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Honestly.
All right. So before we go ahead, I just have 10 questions
Oh, snaps.
that we're gonna do a rapid
Rapid fire.
fire.
Holy ground.
So stay connected. We'll be right back. We're back from our commercial break. Intermission.
Isabel. DJ
Did you
Isabel.
drop a beat right now?
Drop it.
Was that a new beat you just did?
Yo.
Yo, what's up with this vibe? We're back, and we're going to do 10 rapid questions with Rose so you guys can get to know her a little bit more.
That's scary with me.
And that's what we want.
So you just have to answer fast, right? You say a question, she says answer fast.
Yeah, we're going to go 10. You don't have to be like as fast as you can, but just.
No, you have to be fast.
Okay.
All right.
I'll try.
Kayla, start the timer. You don't need a timer.
That's scary, that's why.
All right, well, the first one, you don't have to. Well, the question is, what does a regular day look like for you?
I'm supposed to answer that fast?
Fast.
What's your routine?
Yeah.
What's your morning routine?
It depends
had
on
that
the
one.
day and it depends on the season that I'm in. So
Okay, what you do? What was your routine today?
today, like you guys really want to know my routine?
Yeah.
Well, you know,
Slept in.
I'm very privileged to be, I'm in my tia era. So I actually had a niece that was really sick and required to go to the doctor. So I did the favor of taking her to the doctor. So I did a bunch of mom things today.
Wow.
Yeah. Thank you.
Nice. Next question. Favorite mission trip?
Favorite missions trip? Costa Rica? Just kidding. No, I'm not kidding. I love Costa Rica.
Yeah, we love Costa Rica.
But probably just recently, I don't know if you can call it a mission trip, but when we went to La Paz.
That was a
California.
vacation.
La
They
Paz.
literally they were posting
Everybody
every
keeps saying
day
it's
that they were eating
but
good.
I said it's like God, you guys work so much that I wanted to treat you guys, so I took it as that
It was a
because
good time.
it was nice.
Yeah, they went on the boat. They went snorkeling.
Oh, we did actually.
We swam with
Crazy.
seals.
We swam with the zoo.
Dang.
That's what a mission trip
Swam with
gets
sharks.
you.
We just say yes to God. We don't,
Yeah, no, that's true though.
Mission's true.
We
No,
just say
but
yes
that's
to
true.
God.
The
We-
mission trip I went on was Costa Rica, and I actually lived
No.
in their houses, and I got bit up by zancudos, and my body was destructivo, and I was had to eat rice every day.
You're on
Yeah.
Survivor, basically.
I was on survivor mode, basically.
But I do love going to Costa Rica though, because I love interacting with all the families and the kids. It's just amazing. I love it.
Yeah. The people are amazing when we go out to those countries. Amazing times. All right, what is your Starbucks order?
Oh snaps!
Oh.
Tall white chocolate mocha, hot, and with a
course.
old-fashioned glazed donut.
What?
So if you ever want to bless her on a Sunday,
You
now you
have to
know.
order it like that old-fashioned glazed donut.
Yeah. It's not on the menu, but they have it.
They have
You
it,
don't
yeah.
like pumpkin?
Pumpkin? What?
You're not a pumpkin
You're
spice
not like
girly?
when it's pumpkin spice?
I'm not. I know. I need to.
You're turning the people
I'm gonna
against
upset
you.
a lot of people,
A lot
but
of people are
I
mad.
like to try it here and then. But that's like, if those that know me want to get me Starbucks, they know what order to get me. So
And just
I
for
know.
fun, Easy, what's your Starbucks drink?
Dang, I switch it up all the time. I usually ask my girlfriend to order me a drink because she knows how to make them. But anything pumpkin, I love pumpkin. I'm in my pumpkin spice girly era. Yeah.
You heard it here first?
A cheese Danish, you already know.
Ooh.
Cheese Danish, and yeah, that's it.
Sounds good.
I like my coffee hot in the mornings.
Yeah,
It hits
me too.
faster. But sometimes I get ice.
I like
Depends on
iced
the mood.
coffee.
What's your Starbucks order?
My favorite Starbucks order is the caramel,
Caramel
blondie, from Black Rock.
Blondie.
Black Rock is really good, but
Hot take: Black Rock is Black Rock.
yeah, that's
Black Rock is way better than
yeah,
Starbucks.
that's the hot take right now. I'm feeling.
I don't
Loki,
know.
Black Rock is stepping up. It's really, really good. But that's neither here nor there. Anyways, next one. This one has to be a rapid answer.
Snaps.
And easy, be ready. Who's your favorite brother? 1, 2, 3.
Depends on the day.
Oh, it depends on the day.
What about today?
Wow, that's a hard one.
Don't
Alright, the next
answer
one.
because you
Yeah, there's repercussions to be paid.
Okay.
don't answer.
Next question. Good luck with this one. Who's your favorite sister? Go.
Perla.
Uh,
You're welcome.
What? I thought you were gonna say Misa. Cut it, all love, bro.
no, we're not cutting it, bro.
Cut it, bro, please.
If you could give people that travel one travel tip, what would you give them?
Pack light.
Yes, pack light, but also it is possible. Do it.
Ooh.
True.
Because many people just say, I want to travel, but they never get to do it. And one thing I learned early on is that you can make it happen and traveling is possible. So just do it.
True.
It's possible. And you want to invite me? I'm a good travel companion. So
That's funny because a lot of people, like, whenever I go on trips or something, they're like, "Oh, you always travel, you always do this." I'm like, "What? You could,
Yeah.
you could
You can do
too.
it
I don't.
too.
It's not, I mean,
Yeah.
you budget, save up,
yeah,
Go with
it's
the group of
totally
friends.
possible.
experience new cultures,
Yeah.
new cities,
Mhm.
different airports. Those are,
Get the ticket.
yeah, just buy it.
Yeah.
Book it. Book the flight.
But
Josh
still, like,
is booking a
plan
flight
good.
right
Josh
now.
Make
is
sure that you
receiving.
plan.
Josh is receiving right now. He's booking a flight right now, live on the podcast. Let's go.
He's going to El Paso.
Miguel just got mad right now in his car listening to this. All right, next question, and this one you could think about a little bit more.
Okay.
What is your favorite worship song right now?
Oh, snaps.
Easy, we want to hear yours too.
My favorite worship song right
Dang.
now. Let me look
Sing
at
it.
my.
Sing it.
I'm not about to sing it. Hijo Pródigo by Monte Santo with
What?
Marcos Brunet.
How does it go? Play it a little
Can I
bit.
play it?
Yeah.
And you guys play it?
Yeah, we might get copyrighted, but it's okay.
Did I play it on the?
Check it out if you haven't heard it. It's a good
Yes.
song.
It's a really good song,
Wait, let me
and
hear
then
it.
especially I don't. Lately, I've been speaking about that story, so like resonated very close to my heart. So, Hijo Pródigo by Monte Santo and Marcos Brunet.
Easy's
It's a
having
rap
worship
song.
right now. It's a rap song.
It's a rap song. I like all sorts of music. You will be surprised. Even banda. I have a banda,
Oh,
a favorite
playlist?
song.
Banda,
It's
what
a banda
the-
norteña. I don't know the
Norteña.
difference.
No way.
But the youth know I have this specific song that I like from, no sé si es norteña banda, but it's Mexican.
Easy, you want to share your favorite worship song at the
Dang.
moment?
My favorite worship song at the moment would have to be Firm Foundation. I like the part where it says, Rain came, wind blew. But it always
Like,
switches
I
every
don't know
day.
which one you're going to say, or maybe you switched
I already know this guy's answer.
Really?
Simple.
or no?
It kind of just changes You know,
Yeah.
depending.
Okay, right now, hurry.
Right now, if I had to put a song, I'll put the song "Breathe" by Maverick City.
And Jonathan.
This is just breathe.
Just
It's a
breathe.
miracle you can breathe. That's a
Oh,
good one.
That's
Sometimes
a nice one.
you have a long
TJS.
day. You have, life just punches you right in the
You have
throat,
to breathe in the throat.
Wow.
Yeah, swallow it.
and
That
then you
must be
just.
tough.
I just need that. Just breathe. Like, just everything's okay. God's still in control. Just breathe. So, simple reminder, but we need it. Next question: favorite Bible verse and why?
Favorite Bible verse.
I got one. Psalms 118,
Um,
24.
I'm gonna say Luke 1:45.
Nice. Oh, I know that one. I
Say
think I
it.
do. It was that was a. Go ahead.
You know it?
I
Say
think
it.
so.
It talks about God's promises and that who those that believe are blessed. I can read it because I don't remember on top of my head.
What's
Luke
it?
1:45. But if you go to my Instagram, it's in my bio, I think. 'Cause I haven't been on Instagram in a long time. Check. Just, blessed is she who has believed that the Lord will fulfill his promises to her. So that's like an anthem of mine. I will be known as the girl that believed that God will fulfill his promises, but not just that God did fulfill her promises to her.
Nice.
So I want that to be my testimony, no matter what the world says.
I remember a merch line with that Bible verse. That's why it resonated with me. I'm all
A what?
like a merch that we did merch pieces with
Oh,
that.
yeah.
And I remember Luke. And so I was like, I remember it has to do
That's
with
been
promises.
A close verse to my heart.
And then the last one, oh, this one's a good one. What are 3 reasons someone should go to youth retreat?
Wow. Okay,
Ooh.
3 reasons. Encounters, transformation,
Yep.
and vibes.
Vibes.
You know, just
What do you need?
the Jesus vibes, like when in a room youth get together and just to worship and just know that they're there to allow God to do something in their life. Something happens in the atmosphere, something happens in the air, and like we just get loosened of anything that we brought from our back home, our reality, and we just like lay it at God's feet and everything, not just in the word, not just in administración, but even in the games that we play, in our merch style, you know, our outfits that we wear. It's just an amazing time, and it's so cool that we get to do it in December. It's like a end of the year kind of event that we do, and honestly, it would change your life. And it keeps changing our lives, and
Yeah.
we're in the midst of it. We have youth retreat like every TJS. It feels like, right? We're in the midst of it, yet every time, every year, God does something in our lives. So if you want your year to be better for 2024, I encourage you to come to youth retreat. God is going to do something in your life, and we're all here for it.
If you didn't know, youth retreat is December 1st,
Yes.
2nd, and
December
3rd. Mark
1st,
it on your
2nd.
calendar. The price is $190.
Yeah.
Early registration comes with the merch shirt. It's gonna be a nice little retreat shirt. So
Yeah.
make sure you sign up early. If you do late registration, it is $220. So sign up. $210. $220 now.
He's trying to pocket $10 for
About to
himself,
pocket
bro. He's trying-
Yeah, youth retreat December 1, 2, and 3.
Yes.
Save it on your calendars.
Save the dates right now. This Monday when you go into work, tell your boss, hey, I need these dates. I need
Yeah.
this Friday. And take the Monday too, because you're going to come back Jesus wasted. You're going to come back, you're going to get wrecked in the presence.
You get
So
wrecked by the Holy
you get
Spirit.
wrecked by the
Yeah.
tidal wave of the Holy Spirit is going to take over your life. So take that Monday too.
You
alright?
can register online too. We
Yeah.
have a link.
So
Link
go to
in
our
bio.
Instagram at
Link in
JSO
bio.
Youth. And so before, we want to start closing things up, but we would be remiss to not ask you something about youth retreat. We want to make sure to pick your brain about that. So the theme this year is Holy,
Holy
Ground,
Ground
and
23.
it's powerful. And we want to get a little bit of insight as to the significance of that theme. How was it revealed, and just your thoughts on it.
Yeah, for sure. I think this year is going to be very profound. That you really need to have like your mind open for the revelation of it. But I think God is calling out our generation of young people to return back to the fear of God. I think and now in the last days, everything has gotten super familiar. We're in the familiar zone where everything seems okay, and the youth are just hidden. The youth of God are just hidden, right? And they don't have the guts or the bravery to really say what's black from white. And so the fear of God, it has nothing to do with being afraid of God, because unfortunately, I realized in the last years within the youth of the church, we don't speak upon it no more, that youth don't understand it because there's no teachings of it. There's no more lessons of it. But I think we need to start teaching what the fear of God is, which is not being afraid of God, but it's respecting and honoring and trying our very best to honor and everything, not just what is benefit to us, but in everything in our lives to honor God in everything that we do. So the fear of God is to respect him. So I feel like holy ground stands for a generation that is set apart, that is sanctified, and not physically wise, but from the heart and their spirit and from their minds more than anything. Because sometimes we want to put holiness just something that is your body or that is sexual. It goes beyond that. It's more of the heart, your intention, where your spirit at, where you're standing at. And it's going to be powerful, and I hope that the youth are ready, because Dios viene con todo. Así que let's be ready, because it's going to be powerful. And those that understand and those that start walking in the holy ground that was always set for them, they will see the manifestation of the glory of God. And I want to be that person. And I want the youth around me to be the youth that carry the glory of God. So where are you standing?
Mic
Where
drop.
are you standing? That's a merch piece right there.
Drop the mic right now.
Drop the mic. No, don't
Drop
drop
it.
it. Don't drop it. That's a lot of money.
Want to drop it. But it's an honor, guys. I'm really proud of you guys. You guys know that I'm your top cheerleader. I'm always the one, go ahead, you guys shine. And I know sometimes the youth are like, no, Rose, like, we want you to be in the front. We want you to also shine. So I understand that. So that's why I said yes. Because I know that you have to lead by example. So that's the part that I have yet to lead by example. And I know, okay? I can speak to myself as
We're all
well.
growing.
We're all growing, yes, but I know there's big things ahead, and I'm just really proud of the culture that we have at JSL, the culture that we have in our church. And it's not to be better or to be competitive, not at all. That goes
Never
out
that.
the door. It's to truly love God with all of our hearts. And my motto that I have now is Jesus over everything. So Jesus over
Put
anything.
down a shirt.
And they already know they have to custom make me something, because
gonna get it
that's what
tatted.
I
We'll
want
do it
my
tomorrow.
life to stand for. Jesus over anything.
I said I'm gonna get it tatted.
Oh, jeez. We'll have a different podcast about that.
Oh, tattoos.
Santo.
Santo.
Get the pastora in for that.
Yeah.
Well, it was an honor having you. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for believing in us. We
Of
appreciate
course.
you coming on. Thank you to the live
Thank you for
crowd,
the live
out to the
audience.
live audience, and the cut.
It's been real. It's we knew this was gonna be a banger. We knew Rose was gonna be on the podcast. God uses her. God is always showing up. Because she shows up as well. And when you show up for God, God shows up for you. And that's she's a walking testimony of that. So thank you again for coming on. We love you. We appreciate you. I know JSL Youth loves you and appreciates you more than we can ever really express, because it's through you that we've also been able to find our purpose. God has used you in our lives in that way. And now we're walking in the kingdom. We're walking with a purpose, and we're excited where God's going to take us all, because we're growing together. We're learning together. It's a community and it's a movement. So
Yes, sir. We're gonna end it on that note.
appreciate
Thank you all
y'all.
for joining. Thank you for tuning
Yup.
in to the JSO podcast. DJ Isabel. Hit the beat,
DJ
please.
Isabel.
Drop the beat.